Stinky Tofu Club.
Welcome back to the club. On today's episode, we're going to focus and let our romantic dreams run wild. We're hitting how you want to be asked out, ideal dates, and romantic fantasies today. I think a really good place to start would actually just be, let's just start with a romantic fantasy, right? What's one of those things where it's you really wish this happened, or you really wish you could pull this off? And it could be maybe inspired from pop culture, or it could be something that you saw someone do.
I think it's safe to say that all three of us were heavily influenced by like Korean dramas or even other Asian rom-com series growing up. So I'm sure our fantasies were super non-realistic. Is that safe to assume?
I would say so.
Yeah, I would say
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. Did anyone want to go first? Guess we're revealing, because I don't think I've ever shared this stuff with anybody before.
I'll go first.
Yeah.
So I think growing up in the time that we grew up in, especially in high school, I watched a lot of K-dramas. I think in either my junior or senior year, I watched something like 200 hours of K-dramas during exam season.
Wow.
Which probably wasn't the smartest thing to do, but nonetheless, I did that. And then one of the hot dramas at that time was something called Descendants of the Sun. And so,
Descendants.
have you guys watched it?
Yeah, it was really good.
Okay, I gotta share something here, guys. I'm gonna unveil something. I have not seen this show. Yes, cue the gasp, cue the hate, comments. Go ahead, attack. I know this show is huge. But no, I have not seen this.
So I'm gonna take this episode by episode, right, for Descendants of the Sun, and I'm gonna hit one of my favorite moments, which is there's this one scene where Song Joong-ki like flips a phone out of her hand. Here, hold on. You gotta see it to know. Right here,
It was the
right
one
here.
at the hospital, right?
Yes, this is episode 1. I hope we don't get copyright infringement laws from this. But anyhow, these two people just met. They barely know each other. The preface is that Song Joong-ki essentially came in here, and then this kid or this person who was trying to steal stuff from them got beat up by them because they were protecting themselves, and then afterwards brought the kid to the hospital.
I mean,
and so
yeah. Sorry.
And so the female character,
Song Hye-kyo.
yeah, there we go. I forgot her name, even though it's written right here. She is a doctor at this hospital and thinks that Song Joong-ki is really sus. And so she's like, hey, yo, I'm gonna go report you real quick.
Okay.
So
and this is the first encounter, right?
Yeah, okay. This is the first encounter. This is like 20 minutes into episode 1. I don't know how I know this. Somebody has to fact check me on that timestamp. But I swear it's 20 minutes in.
But I mean, I think this is also a
ready?
great opportunity, though, because you're getting to see the reaction of a person that I'm seeing this live for the first time. And I am also a hopeless romantic, right? And Henry knows this.
So this episode turned into like a reaction video.
Yes, my heart will probably melt, and then now you're gonna see me get all sappy and embarrassing. But I'm actually really excited. Let's go.
I
Okay,
mean,
let's go.
Henry and I probably had the same reaction when you watched
All right,
it.
let's do it. Oh, now I'm really excited.
훔친 도둑을 구해줬다. 보통 죽도록 해줬다가 더 자연스럽죠. 네, 112죠. 여기 해성병원 응급.
Oh my God. What? Oh, why is he so smooth?
Oh, that was slick as fuck.
Wow. Oh my God.
So
the skills
I
on
saw
this
this in
guy.
high school, right? And so like I felt like hot shit at the time. So one of my fantasies was just whenever like if I had someone I was interested in and they weren't paying attention to me or something, I would just pull that move and then afterwards I'd be able to catch the phone. And I think at one point I was like tossing a phone to myself trying to see if I can catch it, but no, it didn't happen.
So like, did you ever like pull this move to anyone or
No,
is
I
it
can't
still
afford a new
practice?
phone. Not when I'm, what was I, like 17 or 18 when this happened? What if I drop their iPhone? It's like $1,000.
That scene was so cute though. With the music in the back. Like,
Right?
that music choice is really good. Damn. Okay.
And could you imagine if that was your first encounter with someone?
Mm,
Like,
Like it makes
regardless
your
of
heart
whatever.
swoon.
Yeah, exactly.
yeah. I think I would be intimidated because I think this girl is like super badass. But then I'll also be really I would have the butterflies too. I would think, for sure.
I mean, I'd say her character is pretty badass.
Yeah.
So there's some truth to that. You got to watch the show.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
You
That's my
have to
homework.
watch
That's
it.
my homework.
Here's the second moment.
And
Where-
if we have any like audio listeners, go watch this video on YouTube. Then you will be able to see the scenes. Yes. So go do that.
So this second scene is super good because it's well, just watch, you'll see.
Is it him? Oh wow. Yes. Cue music.
Oh, that scene was so good.
Wait, did
She
something
like,
happen
"You are my
between them?
destiny."
How come she was so cold?
Yeah, so they fought before this, or like he disappeared
Oh,
for a
I
little bit of
see.
time.
It was him reaching out, I guess, huh?
Yeah,
Oh.
but I don't think that's what I find romantic. I think if you were to put this in the context of day-to-day life, right? I mean, okay, maybe it's because I'm tall, but when I often look over people's heads, right? And so I don't ever look at their feet. But then if I'm looking at her feet, like noticing that her shoelaces are untied, and then afterwards going all the way down to the ground to tie her shoelaces, then she's super special, right? I think what that shows is a lot of attention to details and care from the man. And so that's why that's one of those scenes where it's like, I don't know. Rose, you're the only girl here, so
I mean, I agree. Like, if a guy like notices your shoelace is untied and then bends down to tie it, it shows that they're like really thoughtful and like they're noticing everything about you, right? So it's very sweet.
But in your head, right?
matter.
Is this the case of I want you to someone you're interested, and then if he does it for you, or is like you can have no interest for him at all, but then this gesture will suddenly you kind of see him in a different light.
I guess like okay, I feel like if someone like I'm at least like a little interested in, and they do this, like it will definitely like make me like them more, right? I don't know about like if there's someone I'm not interested in though.
like
But
it has to be
it could
like,
be possible.
neutral. Well, maybe not neutral. It has to lean more towards potential
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
for them to even do that. Otherwise, I think you're breaking a lot of barriers there. I know that because if you think about where your head is like right next to their knee or their thigh. That's kind of it's too private, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
So I feel like if you really didn't feel comfortable with this person, you probably just kick them in the face and be like, yo, off.
Yeah, like you have to feel comfortable with them first. If it's just like some random stranger doing this to you, or like someone you feel uncomfortable around, you'll be like, "What the fuck are you doing?"
So,
Yeah.
and then you mentioning this, it came okay. It reminded me of a different reference.
Okay, hit me.
It's from another show, right? But the show doesn't really matter. It's from like How I Met Your Mother, and what they called it was the Dobler-Dahmer theory, right? And I do believe in this, where
Okay.
like gestures is such a fine line, where if both people are into each other, any gesture, any big romantic gesture works. But if only one person is interested in that person, that same gesture can call off very serial killer vibes. So Jeffrey Dahmer, right? So that's such a fine line. So I'm just picturing like if a guy has been like secretly in love with Rose and been like kind of looking, peering the corner and see Rose's shoes untied, rushes over, bends down on one knee and starts tying that, Rose.
Yeah, I would kick him away or just run.
And so I always find romantic gestures so funny because it's such a fine line where you don't call the cops or you don't want to come off creepy. But yes, I think as guys, I think that works though, huh? I don't think it's just for show. If we
Dude,
mutually like
You
each other.
just killed my fantasy.
No. No, I don't mean
You
it.
just
I
lived
don't
it
mean it
right
like that.
by.
No, I don't mean it like that. I'm just saying I believe this works. I believe this is not just in
Next time I go
shows.
to tie my girlfriend's shoelaces, and then I just think I'm that creep
Well,
that's
no,
tearing up
but
behind the corner.
that's the thing, right? Romantic gestures work if you guys are both into each other, or
Okay.
like there's something there, right? There's something there, right? So
Okay, so I just need to make sure my girlfriend's still into me. Otherwise, it's serial killer.
Otherwise,
vibe.
So yeah. So I believe I'm learning. I'm learning as I go too. I'm picking up these moves. So and if any girls out there with untied shoes, I'm nope, that's weird. I'm not coming for you, but I'll be there to help. Cut this. Cut this.
No, this is staying in the
We'll
cut.
keep this in post.
This is staying in the cut.
Oh my god. Okay. Let's keep going. Henry, take it. Keep
Okay,
this along.
and then I guess the next scene is so we're gonna stick with the theme of like being in high school here, and I think watching a lot of K dramas, there were some scenes that really made me feel like, that is how it felt like in the moment, and if only it looked exactly like that as well in the moment. So this is actually from a more recent K drama called Business Proposal, but there's this one scene here where I think really encapsulates what it's like to like someone and realize you like them.
Okay. Yes. I love her.
dude, I love them.
I love them. This guy is so hot.
I love them.
Their relationship was so cute. Even though they were like the B
Wait, hold
couple.
on. Where is it?
Oh my god.
Like if they have a separate drama for them, I will watch it.
Oh yeah. But
Okay.
yes,
Let's show
yes,
this
I
again.
agree.
우리가 이렇게 이웃사촌으로 만난 것도 인연인데
Like just the pop.
친하게
Right
Look at
behind
this.
them.
My heart is
Oh my!
Oh my god.
I mean, it helps that they're both very good looking. But I think just the explosion of flowers is such a good representation of what it's like to like someone, or when you're in like a really romantic moment and it makes your heart beat faster. You know, like what's that mean? Make your heart go tok
Toki
tok.
toki, eh?
So then
Nice.
that's exactly,
That's exactly it.
what that would look
Yeah.
like.
Yeah, look at Henry. He's so cute.
I'm a hopeless romantic.
Hopeless romantic people
If-
here.
It's like
But that's also
when
why like
teenage
we
girls
can't.
read all of their romance novels.
Yeah. But that's also I feel like that's the reason why like we can't watch reality romance shows. And I don't mean like the stuff that are filmed in US and like not Love Island, not Too Hot to Handle, not that kind of stuff. I'm talking about like Heart Signal, like stuff like that where it's like more
Dude, what do you mean? I love Heart
no,
Signal.
I mean I'm talking about Heart Signal. I don't mean shows like Love Island and Too Hot to Handle. I mean shows like Heart Signal, which is like a rom-com romantic reality TV show in Korea, where it's like very more conservative and it's like everyone's very shy and timid. So you want to root for these couples and you become such a hopeless romantic and sappy when small gestures are made. So like
It's just super cute.
it's just super cute,
you know?
right? And then we will.
I didn't watch it.
You didn't watch Heart Signal?
No.
I was.
Okay.
I think I was. Henry mentioned Heart Signal for me because
If you only need to watch one season of Heart Signal, it's this one right here. The Heart Signal season 2 cast was
yes,
awesome.
I agree.
Season 2.
It was so good. So
Two is
good.
good. 2 is good. So that's the thing. So there was a time, a little bit of time in university where Henry and I got really invested in this Chinese reality romance show. I don't know what it's called, but do you remember, Henry?
Which one?
Where they would like send letters, and then one of the guys was a professional race car driver.
Oh,
So like, I'm just saying
so
like,
there's 2 heart signal copies in
Yeah,
China. I
the-
forgot which one it was. Keep going, I'll find
so it's
it.
basically like a spin-off, a Chinese spin-off of Heart Signal. But what I'm trying to get at is picture 2 grown-ass men, like in their 23, 24, like on the couch, screaming and shouting after like every cute gesture. We're like hitting each other with pillows. We're so invested, so sappy. And when like things don't work out, we're actually devastated in real time. We're just like, what the fuck, no? And it's just such a funny image. Just two guys chilling on a couch watching being super invested in reality TV romantic shows. You just got 2 hopeless romantics here.
Oh, it wasn't Heart Signal. There was another one. I don't
I don't know what it's called, but the premise was
I
the
haven't
same.
watched it in so
The
long.
premise was the same. Like you send
Yeah.
letters, and I think
So
that's
there's
really
like
cute.
心动的信号,
Yeah.
but that's the Heart Signal one.
So yeah, Rose, picture like you go into a house with like 6 other strangers, 3 guys, 3 girls. There's usually an odd number, so it depends on the gender. But one gender there's an odd number.
Oh, actually, it's not like.
Whoa, then
they don't do
everybody will
numbers?
get letters.
So
you know,
So it's
Because you know,
actually
like singles Inferno, right? They do even numbers.
yeah.
well, it is even numbers though. They just even it out later on. So like the first couple of weeks, it's odd numbers, right? And then afterwards
they
they'll even it out
Pull in
later
more
on.
people.
And like one of the best things is like you see the relationship form, because you see the relationship form through the letters that they write to each other, through the dates that they go through, and it's just really cute. Yeah, you see, in real time. Unlike stuff like Singles Inferno, where it's like they compete, it's mostly like game and drama. You compete, and then there's like a few scenes of them dating, and like so it's like not that dramatic, but it's still good. Yeah.
I think it's just super cute when you start to see 2 people bond,
Yes.
as well as
Yes,
like
exactly.
the cool dates that they go on, like making wine together or woodworking or candle
Wait, do they
making,
like
things
live
like
in
that.
the same house? Or
Yes.
Yeah,
they do.
it's kind of like it's a little bit
wait,
terrace
isn't
house
there?
as
Is
well.
there? Yeah, like
Oh,
Terrace
yes,
House. I was gonna say
yeah.
that,
Oh yes, it's like Terrace House. Oh, I love watching Terrace House too. Yeah, so,
Terrace house was also really
yeah,
good.
it's like Terrace House.
Yeah, and there were like so many seasons.
Yeah. Could you guys do that? Could you guys do? If you guys were invited, would you guys want to
No.
live your
I
have
would
your
actually
life?
want to try.
Have your life put on film, and then people worldwide would be watching you go through.
Actually,
Hopefully not heartbreaks,
wait.
but like happy moments. You know.
like when you put it that way, like the whole world is watching. I don't really want that, but then like, I would want to like try like just living with like a house of strangers and like
I
just
think
see
that's
how it
fun.
goes.
I think
right?
that's fun too. But
From a friend perspective or romantic perspective, though.
Both.
no, you
I
never
think
know
it's like
what
a
happened,
really good
right?
chance to like meet new people, right? Especially like for me, like I barely go out. and
That's
meet people.
true. I mean, you're forced, like even after work, you're forced to come home to a house full of strangers. You're basically never comfortable, you know. And until you make friends, but yeah, I think it'll be fun.
Yeah.
Wait, you said you watched Terrace House, Henry. You guys did too, right? You did too. Did you guys watch the
Yeah.
Aloha season, the one shot in Hawaii?
Yeah,
Okay,
No.
I didn't finish it though. I'm on like halfway through the second part, second season or
no.
something.
The
yeah.
reason why I bring it up because there's this one scene that's super memorable, and it's not even a fantasy. Like, I don't wish this on anybody, but so the guy asked out the girl, right? And then they said they would make plans. She said, "Okay, cool, good." And then he went out. This was his very first girl that he ever like approached in real life, even before Terrace House. So he talked about like he's never had a girlfriend. He really pulled out all the stops, asked this girl out, booked a restaurant and everything. And the last minute, she flakes. She's like, "Oh, I can't make it." And then what do the directors do? They film him eating alone in the restaurant. They don't even give him a break. So they went to go eat catfish, right? Like fried catfish, whatever. They just the directors and camera post outside of the restaurant, film this poor guy eat catfish all alone in the restaurant. That was so heartbreaking, man.
Like just like POV.
No, just like from a
No,
wide shot,
like they
a
just
far
film it
shot.
outside.
Outside of the restaurant, yes, as if it's like a movie, but
Of
it
him
wasn't a
eating by
movie. It was
himself.
real,
And then it's like a side shot. He's just
yes. And then it's a side shot, so you see nobody at that table with him, and he's just there eating alone. I'm just like, bro, I can't do that if I want a show like this. The producers are ruthless, and you just see the hosts of the there's always MCs. They're just like, oh, why did they do that to him? Why they didn't have to shoot him like that. It was so heartbreaking. I mean, if I find it, I'll add it into the video. If I can find the clip, I'll add it in. Yeah, but yeah, I thought it was a fun.
That's rough.
It's rough.
though.
It's rough.
Did he have like the whole day planned? Like the whole
the
like
camera,
a quote unquote date
yes,
course
yes.
where it's from morning to night.
Yeah, you
and
see
then,
the guy, like you get his POV interview. You see him prepping, putting on his cute little date outfit, getting to the restaurant, sitting down, getting all ready.
Okay, have any of you guys actually planned that though? Done something similar? Planned a full day of festivities, dates, whatever? Because a lot of work goes into it. Like it's not just it's a lot of work. No, it's like you're because you end up with that final plan, right? But that final plan is probably like a fifth draft, right? Especially if it's a first date because you want to make it memorable.
And you want to make it like as perfect as it can be.
Yeah. So for lunch, you've probably already picked out like 7 different restaurants. You've narrowed it down to 3, and then you've called 2 and made reservations at 2 because then you always need a backup in case one of them goes sour or like if you really wanted to. Here's another thing. So if you really want to play it off like you're a cool guy, you know all of the hip local spots, the romantic spots, the hidden hole in the wall spots. You do all of your research beforehand. You book multiple, right? And then afterwards, well, that's if there's free cancellation in your city. And then afterwards, then depending on where you guys end up, if you're just like wandering around the city or whatever, depending on what hood you're in, then you just take them to that spot that you booked, and then you cancel all of the other ones in secret, right? While you're waiting to get your table, they're like going to the restroom to wash your hands or whatever. So imagine that for brunch, and then afterwards, like your dessert in the afternoon and dinner, as well as everything you do in between if you're going to like bowling or whatever, things like that. So it takes a lot of work to plan.
Henry,
like a really
Are you
Wait,
speaking
Henry,
from
you do this?
experience?
Yeah, you did this?
Yeah, I've done this before.
Wow!
Holy shit.
I gotta
like,
take
if you plan-
notes. Oh
No,
my
like
god!
if you plan trips as a couple, right? You literally plan it from head to toe, where you just, okay, these are all of the things, these are all of the options, and then afterwards on the day of, because you don't want to be like, oh, this is the whole schedule, and then it's really strict and formal, like by this time we have to be here for this. It's not like you're a tour guide, right? This is a date, and then things can change. You want it to be a little bit flexible. Well, how do you get that flexibility when all of these places tend to be booked out, or like you have to wait 3 hours in line? If you go last minute, you just plan ahead, plan A, B, C, D, E, F. Yeah.
Wow. So like how many backup plans do you have? Like when you book a restaurant, right? Do you book like how many backup ones do you book?
I think usually just like an A and a B is good enough, especially if you have an idea of what the plan is for that day.
Have you ever had
But
to
if it's-
use the backups? And like, yeah.
Yeah. I've had to use backups before.
What happened?
I think we were just in a different part of town. Or, oh no, so this was in the winter.
Okay.
And then we were at like a Christmas kind of Christmas market before that. And then it was, we stayed there for a little bit longer. It got super cold. And so we weren't feeling what we were originally feeling. And then there were some other comments about, I think K-barbecue actually came up in K-dramas and things like that. And then suddenly I was like, okay, let's just make the switch, right? Here's an Uber. I know a spot. Let's just go there. It's 10 minutes, and then we're good to go. I mean, there are still things that are unplanned, right? So we have to wait a little bit longer than expected. I think it was like a 30-minute wait, but 30-minute wait is long.
Henry Lee boyfriend status through
It's
the
it's
roof.
long in the code.
Wow, pulling
No,
out
but
all
then
the
we went
stops.
grocery shopping afterwards while waiting in between, right? Because that's another romantic fantasy, like grocery shopping together.
Yeah.
Is that not a fantasy for you guys? Is that just me?
I think this is because when you mentioned this is what I picture, and I think this is really cute too. If I'm like, hey, to the girl that I like, because I do enjoy cooking, right? I'm just like, hey,
Yeah.
let's hang out. I'm gonna cook you something, and then we go to the market together.
Invite them over for
Yeah.
dinner, and then you chef it
Yeah,
up, right?
Yeah, exactly. So
Okay.
that was for sure would be like a dreams fantasy for me. Be like, and then it would be us like doing it, picking out whatever. I think it would be a very cute. I'm like in my movie director mode. I'm thinking of it as like a montage, and I think that's so cute. So I do agree. Grocery shopping. It sounds really good. And then after that, either going to her place or mine, and we cook together, eat.
Yeah.
I think that would be fun. Yes.
Yeah. I think the other thing is it shows off
Mhm.
it shows off two things, right? One is like life skills because you need to know how to cook. But two is if you do a really good job, I mean, shit. Like you serve up like a really nice meal. What's that
Yeah.
saying? The best way to a man's
Oh,
heart
yeah.
is through food.
I think
that
so.
works for both.
That's what I'm
genders,
telling myself, right? That's the only reason why I'm trying
Like,
to.
if you just
the
served
re-
up
reason why I'm so
amazing
into
food.
cooking. That's what I'm telling myself. One day, this skill will help me in the future. You know.
Is that why you've been practicing your cooking?
Yes, it's not to feed my ass. I can eat whatever.
It's to feed
It's
your
to
future
feed my
girlfriend.
future girlfriends. Yes. Yeah, I think I put that in my Hinge bio.
That you want to cook for them?
No, I was like,
Put it in your Hinge bio.
dating me is like having a personal chef. Has not worked.
Like, as in, like,
No comments.
when you
No
say
nothing.
like
but-
when you say like having a personal chef, as in like you are the personal chef.
Yeah,
for
yeah,
them.
yeah. Oh no, that is so misogynist. I'm not saying they're my personal chef. I am their personal chef. We gotta clear that up. I'm not saying.
Maybe
Maybe
that's why.
why.
Okay, maybe that's
Shit,
why.
maybe that's why. Oh, makes sense. Okay, thank you, Rose. Colin. Maybe that's why it's not working.
It's like this guy has no life
Maybe that's why I'm getting
skills.
so many-
They probably
gonna hit
mean
me
like
with
this
the,
guy just wants a personal
Go make me a
chef.
sandwich.
and wants me to cook for this. Yeah. Oh my god. Maybe that's why. I probably should check my grammar then. Yeah. Any fantasy for you, Rose?
I mean the cooking one, except like I think for me, like I don't. If the guy is cooking, I don't want to cook together
No, I get that.
because
I get
if
that.
I'm also in the kitchen, like I feel like maybe just because like I've been like I'm kind of like a little like neat clean freak, I guess. Like as soon as I finish with something, I just want to clean it. And then if I see like the kitchen is a mess, I can't stand it. So if someone is cooking in the kitchen, I'd rather just step out.
And
Or
Yeah.
like when
I
you're
don't
Or I
know.
just gonna
almost
like keep
disrupted,
cleaning,
'cause
cleaning.
You know how you go from
Yeah.
okay.
like all the ingredient prep and whatnot, but some people don't prep in the same order.
Yeah.
Or like the workflow's a little bit different. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, like everyone has different habits, right? So if
Yeah.
I'm cooking, I want to be in the kitchen by myself, like no one else in there. And then if they're cooking, then I want to step out, and then I'll come back and help clean and stuff. But then I don't want to be in the kitchen while they're cooking.
Actually,
'Cause,
I can
like,
appreciate.
me cleaning could also disrupt their workflow.
I can
right?
appreciate that
So-
because, yes, like in a fantasy world, cooking together is the perfect movie montage, right? But I think I would also be like, "Hey, I got this. Just sit and relax.
go out.
Yeah, just sit and relax. And like, I got this. You just enjoy it after, because there are scenarios at home. Like, if I'm the one doing it, please just let me do it. You know, there are times like that. Yeah.
Yeah. Like when my brother cooks at home, I'm always like cleaning like after him. And I think like
I think
that's
he
fine
knows,
for
though.
me because
What if he's
Like,
taking
I think-
advantage?
probably because
Yeah.
I'm always doing the dishes
Yeah.
after. But But like while he's cooking, I'm like cleaning after him. Like whatever he doesn't need, I clean, right? And I think like if like someone I'm interested in is cooking for me, I don't want to be in the kitchen because I want to be surprised like at what he's cooking.
Oh, Rose
So
is
like, if
so
I'm in the kitchen
sweet.
like cleaning
And
after
so is
him,
it
then I
like
would know like what he's making, right? But I want to be surprised like when the food actually comes
I
out.
can really appreciate this. Like, I don't know. I think Henry too, because Henry cooks and he cooks really well. Like, if you really like cooking,
Henry is a chef.
if you really like cooking, there's something about like presenting it like as a like a present. Like, you want them to you want the first reaction to be the final product, and then you want the taste to be
No,
the
yeah,
you
I
want
get
their
that.
taste to be like the first completed dish. Like, you want everything what they experience the final thing, right? So I can
and it's like you're tense the whole time until
Yeah,
they take
yeah.
that first bite. And depending on how they react, that sets the tone for you
right.
for the
So
rest
like
of the
as
night.
like people who cook, I think I really appreciate that. Like Rose being like, oh, I won't hang around because I want to be surprised. And I think I would be touched about that. I'd be like, dope. Maybe a little bit more pressure, but like I would be very happy to hear that.
Because you get like a genuine reaction
Yeah.
when like you actually give them the food, right? And there's like something else I heard is like if you're in the kitchen and then when you're actually like eating, like because you're in the kitchen for too long, like you're smelling all the stuff already. So when you're actually eating it, you're not actually like tasting it to like 100% kind of like you don't like taste like because you're already so used to the smell and the like flavors.
Yeah.
When you're in the kitchen, yeah. So
Touching back on like dreamlands and fantasies, for me, growing up, so like I got into my K-pop phase, not K-pop, K-drama phase later. I would say like around high school. So before then, I was actually watching more Taiwanese dramas and movies.
wait, same.
Yes.
Same.
Yeah. So and then a lot of I'm sure the themes are always the same. Like there are some overlaps, but for me, one of my like top fantasy dream are those like unexpected like high school crush relationships, where it's like these two people are the complete opposite, should not work, but through either like the girl. So one common theme was like the girl is either this guy's tutor and has to tutor him to help him get through his grades to graduate or something like that. And through their time together, love is like like formed.
Developing.
Yes, love is developing, right?
That's really
But
cute.
they're completely different
That's
people.
really cute.
Like, and they which and in theory should not work, but eventually they do. And a lot of these shows, they don't end up together. So I don't know if I want this fantasy or not, but a lot of these shows and movies, they always don't actually end up together, and that's why it always makes me sad. But I love stuff like this.
I feel like for like the scene you said, like the tutoring stuff, usually it's always like one person that likes the other.
Yeah,
But then, right?
Yeah.
It's never like mutual.
it's never
That's why it never works out.
neutral until it's
Yeah.
too late. That's and then so like yes,
Too late, like they die or they
Like, too
move
late,
away,
like
or
Like they like someone.
they like someone
for
else.
example.
The guys is at the girl's wedding.
okay.
Like that's classic. Like the guys at the girl's wedding, or like
Yeah,
or
I've
like,
seen
yeah, or like
those.
she's mostly it's like what I'm thinking about. Is it the girl that usually moves like finds somebody and the guy's kind of left broken hearted? That's those are the ones that I've seen. Now I definitely don't want that part, but I love the high school relationship part, where like you don't need to worry about anything else. You just worry, and then you just want to spend time with them, and then just do stuff together. And just love is formed, and the flirting is like very subtle, and I like those, like where it's like, I don't know you, I don't know if you like me yet, and I don't know, and then vice versa. So everything I do would be really subtle. Yeah. So that was always like a fantasy for me. I don't know if it's clear.
what are some of those like subtle things, right?
So okay, I'll give you an example. Okay, so from the
Yeah.
movie that I'm referencing, he was like, so it was a really dumb student. The story is this: it was a really dumb student with the smartest girl in class, right? And then yes, he was tutoring her, and then the guy made a bet. It was like, if I beat you if I get a higher grade than you in the finals, you need to put your hair into a ponytail which she hated. If you beat me, I'll shave my head. Finals come out.
Whoa.
Oh wait, I know which movie you're talking
So
about.
this movie is all in English. You are the apple of my eye.
Apple of my eye.
Wait, I
就是
feel
那
like
些
I've
年我
heard
们一
this
起追的
before.
女孩。
Or heard
I
Yeah.
love
Okay.
love
Yep,
this
I know
film.
this one.
Okay, so and then to give more context, he the results come out. He loses. So next day he shaves his head. He comes to school with that bald head, but girl comes across the screen. She was also in a ponytail. So like even though she won the
So
bet,
she just did it
even though she
anyways.
won the bet, she will still
She still put
her hair in a ponytail. That just stuff like that gets me super like not emotional, happy.
That's pretty cute.
Sappy. I think that's the word. It gets me really sappy. And then stuff
Sappy's
is
the
like,
word
damn,
for
I
it.
want that. Like super subtle, subtle gestures like that. High school
But
love.
spoilers, the ending didn't go well.
But yeah, a lot of these endings, the ending never goes well.
Dude, what the heck? So are we now romanticizing unrequited love and then just dying alone? Is that the romantic fantasy now?
Honestly, I think that's not even a fantasy. That's reality. That's what I have
Yeah,
straight
that's
up
reality.
come to terms with. Is my naive high school self was so dumb. None of this stuff in shows are realistic. Because I
They
don't.
make the shows always make you have like really high expectations, but nothing ever turns out the same way.
So what it is what is these shows, they always show up till them getting together, but never after. And when you're growing up, maybe naive to relationships, naive to love, not being like myself, I wasn't doing a lot of dating, but you watch this stuff, you think getting together is like the final stage, just like what you've seen in the movie. But what comes after is so much bigger and more important. But nothing's actually prepared you for it until you go through it, and you learn. You get angry, you get emotional, you go through heartbreaks, and then you learn about that portion of love. Right? Everything you want, you wish to have is before getting together, which is what you can see on TV. But very little stuff is showed after, and then that's what I've come to terms and learned. And like, being single is actually a little bit easier.
It's easy until you start to think about like, oh, I kind of want this, or like when you watch, when you watch shows and you're like, oh, I wish this happens to me.
Yes, you always it's a cycle. You cycle through these thoughts. You know what? Going to the gym at night is the worst time to go because that's when couples come out. And it's just couples everywhere spotting each other for bench presses, for all that stuff. I'm just there by myself with my fucking dumbbells. I'm just like, fuck you.
Gabe wants a girl to stand over his head and spot his bench.
I'm just like, everyone out here getting PRs because they have someone to help them. No, I can't hit my own because I can't do it by myself. But it's cute.
You gotta chicken out, go to the Smith machine, and everyone knows the Smith machine is
for
the same.
single people. Yeah.
Maybe you should change your Hinge profile. Change it to dating is like working out together.
Danny's still working out. Oh yeah, find a gym girl. Oh, that'd be cool.
That could work.
Yeah, I thought that was funny. Just it's at night, really, when the couples come out.
I guess something you've touched upon a little bit, right? You say sometimes it's like easier being single. What are some of those things that you think about when you're single that you dream about, and what about being or staying in a relationship is so difficult and tiring?
So should I go into like what aspects of relationship is enticing, and then vice, and then
yeah,
and then
sure. I think that'd be a good place to start. Yeah.
I think
it's the free time. The free time you have for yourself, like when you're like single.
it's the enticing.
like,
What's enticing about being single is the free time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like
That-
you have
that I
more
agree.
time to yourself, right? But then if you're in a relationship, then you have to like separate your times, like to kind of like
Yeah.
delegate like the time of your day to like different things. Yeah.
For me though, I'm also speaking from trauma. Just a little note there. I always uh, hold on.
Sorry,
Let me
time
let me
out.
get it out. Let me get it out. I see a therapist. Anyways, so yeah, for me, speaking out of
Like your
yeah, a little bit, a little
PTSD
bit.
flashbacks going through your
was-
head. Cue World War II mortar
And
bombings.
I know this won't be for all relationships, and I know I won't happen to me in the future, but it's just because I haven't experienced anything else just yet, and only know what I've experienced. The thing that kind of throws me away from a relationship is the need to like, because when you're alone, you just gotta focus on yourself. Focus on what you need to do. Focus on how to get yourself better. How to focus on supporting yourself, right? And then for when you're in a relationship, and then you gotta worry about another whole life, and then that terrifies me when I'm still so young and unstable and all that stuff to like bring somebody in, unless you meet that person that brings you that stability where, hey, don't worry, I got like I'm good, I can take care of myself, let's grow together, perfect. But from what I went through, it's more like, oh shit, I'm in a situation where I gotta take care of like two whole lives when I have not really even figured out my own stuff. That is very scary, and I really don't want to go through that again, right? So then I've also always mentioned like, hey, I really don't want to be in a relationship until you're like financially stable and then like you got your shit figured out. But then you hear a lot of people like, oh, I disagree. It should be something you do together, all that stuff. So there's like both sides. There's truth to both sides, right? And it's just you got to find that right person that can support that argument, you know. So that's always been
Yeah, I
one
think-
thing that was like, oh, I really like this person. I really want to do something about it. But I'm like, oh, wait, what can you bring to the table? Can you be what?
But you don't know until you take
Yeah,
that
that's the
risk,
thing, yeah,
right? You
that's
have to take the risk of getting to know them before you know whether or not it's
Yeah.
more like a partnership or more like babysitting.
So yeah, exactly, and that's why yes, I've been shooting myself in the foot, like very early in the beginning before anything can happen because of this like babysitting experience that I kind of went through, right? Yeah, and then I guess on the flip side, what makes relationships so enticing is the intimacy, being able to have somebody that knows you that well on such a deep level, sometimes knows you better than you know yourself. I think that is so cool.
Oh, that's an underrated
That is
romantic
underrated.
fantasy. Everybody talks about like random
Yes.
moments where it's, oh, this is so like swoon worthy. Oh, this makes
Yeah.
my heart beat. But no, I think the most underrated romantic fantasy is when you don't realize something, right? And then your significant other calls you out on it, or they surface it for you, or they automatically accommodate and take that into account without you even realizing until like much later. Because it's so subtle, but it's
Yeah.
oh,
And like,
It
so it's
makes
like
life so
not
much
about
better.
like feeling lonely. It's about like being able to have someone like that in your life. I think that's so beautiful, and I think it's important.
I'm gonna take this down a little bit of a dark turn. Have you guys ever been in a situation where that person is with you, but you feel even lonelier than when they weren't there? Like they're physically present, but you feel lonelier than if they were, like you were just alone in the room.
I would say I would say yes, but I'll give you my reason why. Because like my experience is when this person's in the room, my thoughts, my mental health, my well-being, my whole energy is now on this person, where I'm not focusing on myself anymore. That's why I feel lonely. I'm not taking care of myself anymore. When this person is here, my whole attention is now on this person. Not because like I'm wanting, my intention is on this person because like, oh, she's so beautiful. Whatever. It's because my worries have to be on this person. I have to take care of this person, like you said, babysit, all that stuff. And because I'm doing all this, I feel lonely as a result.
I think I agree with Gabe. I think that happens. Like I've experienced that before too, where like you're in the same room, but then you have to like take consideration of the other person as well. So like you can't like actually like kind of like I guess like express like how you're
How
feeling.
you feel, right? Yes.
Yeah. For example, like if you feel like if you feel like crying right now, but then in consideration of the other person, you don't want to like worry them or whatever, then you're like holding it back. I think like that's when you feel like you're more
Wait,
lonely.
hold on, time out,
Yes.
time out. I mean, yes, I kind of understand, but also at the same time, aren't you essentially taking, like you're shooting yourself in the foot here, and then you're essentially saying that you feel more lonely when you're with them, right? But isn't that just because you're self-sabotaging here? Is this not just self-sabotaging behavior?
Oh, it is. I feel like with signs like this, if you experience signs like this, it's probably meaning the relationship's not gonna be lasting that long, right? So I mean, and yeah, exactly.
And what led to this point, right? Is it you've experienced multiple similar scenarios and that's why you started to grow averse to like nip it in the bud before it even happens? Or is this just you're transferring your past trauma onto this new person even though they haven't done anything that might suggest that?
So I haven't felt what you've described with a new person, right? Because
Okay.
I'm with people that I meet. If I'm not like in love with them, whatever. If they're just friends, like yes, I care about them, but it's not like I have to put my 100% worries and attention on this person. So then I can
Gotcha.
still save some energy for myself. So I don't feel that lonely among new people or friends. But when you mentioned that, I did feel that with certain people, and that was because I knew that they didn't really want. It was like they wanted to put the attention on themselves, want me to help figure them out, and like deal with their shit, but not really want to deal with mine. So I was like, oh fuck, okay, let's deal with you. If you're happy,
So
that's good.
is the romantic fantasy now having somebody that will let you be yourself, or is willing to listen to all of your worries and struggles?
I think it's for me. It's about being able to be vulnerable. You could be comfortably vulnerable,
Yeah, be comfortable around them.
comfortably vulnerable. Not to be vulnerable because you're your boyfriend, girlfriend, but to be comfortable, to be vulnerable because you can in front of this person, and then you maybe won't feel as lonely. Like you can be vulnerable, and then they can handle it, because what is everyone's worst fear? I don't know what everyone, man. Maybe I'm generalizing. What is a common fear? You become vulnerable enough where people will leave you. Right, this is getting a bit dark, but this is something that I think about quite often. It's like I will always be there to help friends. I can be the person that people come and call and talk about their problems, but I'm afraid to be that person to call others because I am afraid. Like you come people with problems, eventually they might leave, even though I won't. But it's just like this thing that gnaws on my brain that. There's always like stuff that I gotta work through, but it's like, yeah, you fear of abandonment if you become vulnerable and people can't handle it. So you gotta find and be with people that can handle your vulnerability and be like, hey, I really got you. And then those people are the most important people in life, and you gotta keep them close to you. Yeah.
Amen. I have nothing to add to that. I think on that note, we've gone through some surface level romantic fantasies that are cute, maybe for like 30 minutes or so. But what we've really narrowed it down to is the real romantic fantasy, which is someone you can be vulnerable with. And in that process, they really understand you and they're with you.
I think we perfectly summarized what we went through, like what we've experienced from high school to like now into this podcast, right? Into this episode of what we really at the end of the day think what love is, right? Yeah, but doesn't mean we won't watch a couple of K-dramas from time to time, get our fantasy hits. You know, we still need that.
Get your expectations
gotta get
up.
the spoon in.
Yeah, life can be all that dark. You gotta spice it up, add a little explosion, like in Business Proposal. You need that stuff. You need that. Yeah.
And on that note,
Yeah.
thank you for tuning in to today's episode. You can find us on Instagram, Spotify, Apple Music, and TikTok under Stinky Tofu Club. We'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.
Stay up to date on all things Stinky Tofu Club by following us on Instagram and TikTok at Stinky Tofu Club. And full episodes of our podcast can be found on YouTube, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts at Stinky Tofu Club. Catch you next time. Bye.